Did you hear about
Did you know?
Polar Preet, or AKA Harpreet, but people call her Polar Preet?
This is a man, lady,
No, it's a lady who's a British
lady.
Army officer. She reached the South Pole on foot.
Hence polar. Okay.
Polar Preet, but her full name's
Breathe.
Harpreet. But anyway,
How to breathe. And she's
Harpreet
a
Chandi. She's from Derby.
in the army.
Yeah, so she's a
She's a
physiotherapist in the
fudgy.
army. I don't know how much that counts, but yeah.
Are we getting her on the podcast?
I mean, I don't know. We can do.
Sounds like a very inspiring person.
It depends on how this part of the segment is going to be interpreted, I guess.
Right.
I
Okay.
got nothing bad to say. I'm like, full respect, man. It's incredibly difficult to do something like that.
Charity, or what was the
I think it's just for
personal?
herself. She's
Yeah.
only she's the first person of color to go ahead and
Oh,
do that.
to walk there.
And
Wow.
she only fell short of the world record as well, like only slightly.
Time wise, or
Yeah, time wise, took her 40 days.
wow.
And she did it, and she finished it a week ahead of schedule.
Where did she walk to and from? Well, obviously to the polar, but where from?
I think she sets off at a certain point outside the Antarctica.
Right. And you
Antarctica or
walk in.
Antarctica? What is it? No, the South Pole. Which is which? This is a question I should know the answer to, isn't it?
One you have penguins and one you don't.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say the South Pole just to simplify things. Yeah.
Okay.
So
50-50.
South Pole,
Yeah.
and she has to lug this like massive amount of massive equipment behind her as well,
Which is her supplies.
which is all supplies. Yeah, weighed up to like
Mm.
90 kilos,
Mm.
lugging that daily for 40 days in the
In
snow,
the,
never
in
ending
the
snow,
army, they
cold,
call
minus 40 degrees.
yomping.
Hmm?
In the army, when
Yeah,
they train, like for example, say they're in Dartmoor and they're doing like an exercise and they carry all that weight on, they call that a yomp. That's what
right.
it sounds like. She's yomping. But what it is I remember I had a mentor actually who did. There's a version of like a marathon that you do in this environment, and only a handful of people have done it in the world, and he's one of them to have done it. And he was just saying about how many calories you need to consume each day in that
Yeah,
environment because you
yeah.
burn so much.
I'm just sitting there thinking like how. Okay, I have so
Mm.
many questions. All right,
Okay.
many questions. One of them is,
Right.
how do you consume food in a temperature that cold? Is it
Oh,
all like power bars and stuff?
you mean the logistical aspect of
Yeah,
actually?
like how do you consume food?
Yeah.
How do you get changed at that temperature without freezing to death?
This is, do you see, this is all really good reasons why we should have her on the podcast so you
No,
can
of
ask all
course,
these
and we can
questions.
explore that afterwards. But thinking of all the logistics behind it,
Yeah.
how do you get phone signal? Oh wait, you don't. Okay, so how do you
No,
listen?
you have a sat phone.
You have a sat phone, but
Yep.
then does your smartphone freeze up past a certain temperature? Like,
You just
can
don't
you
take it
can
with
you
you.
not
You don't
use
take
it?
it with you. You don't take it with you. You're thinking about this
Well,
way too
apparently,
much, man.
Goran, she
Go
took
on.
something with her because she was able to listen to voice notes of friends and family, giving
Oh,
her encouragement along the way. I think they were pre-recorded and saved to her phone,
right.
but yeah, she had that. So I was like, oh, so you must have some sort of listening device to be able to do
Mm.
something like that.
Mhm.
So clearly, it's possible.
Yeah, clearly, man. I
Yeah,
mean, that's it's an inspiring story. We always hear about Roger Bannister who ran the 4 minute mile. No one did it before him. He did it, and now school
yeah,
kids do it. Like it's
yeah.
just, it's amazing. That's really, really inspiring.
Reaching the South Pole on foot, and then when you get to the end, do they
Mm.
just airlift you out of there, or do you have to walk back? Right.
You are doing, like kids are like when they ask her why
Yes.
to everything.
Why?
Why?
Why? How does
Why?
that happen? How'd you do this? How'd you do
You,
that?
you you're
What?
doing that when it's like, okay, it's
No, I
amazing
love it
feat.
because I'm like genuinely, I'm intrigued. That sounds
Mm,
like a big
mm,
logistical challenge. And
mm.
also you must have to tell people intermittently where you are along the journey in order for them to track you down and see where you are.
I would, yeah, because obviously there is a health and safety aspect, man. Like if you
Big
needed
time,
help,
especially at
yeah,
temperatures that cold.
I presume you carry like a flare that you can fire up, or something tracking device is already on you. You have to presumably check in with certain people twice a
You
day or
have to
something
do
like that.
check-ins, I think. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You have
it
to.
must be mandatory things. But and another guy again, coming back to the guy who did this run, like a lot of his skin just peeled off as well.
Oh God.
You show me some of the pictures, like his neck, his nose, it was just, yeah, and his parts of his cheek and stuff as well. So he did it like age 60, man. He's like an old dude when he did it.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, pretty rated.
Genetics ain't a thing, clearly.
Polar Preet. That's
Another
really
thing
cool
to add
name.
on to her. her list of achievements. This is
Okay.
apparently a warm up.
For
So she wanted to cross the entire South Pole, not just get to the middle. And they said to her, well, you can't cross it because you haven't got any experience. So she got to the
crossing
middle.
meaning
Crossing as in like go from one side of it to the other.
no, but what does that mean? Across a stretch of water? Is that what you mean? Or
No, I think so. She started from one point, got to the South Pole, yeah,
yeah.
and then she wants to go over the South Pole and then to the other side.
Okay, fine.
So imagine
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah,
certain.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know how,
It's
how
like
much
it's
of a distance
like
it is.
this. I thought you meant
Yeah, I
like
think
that.
so. Yeah,
Yeah, all
in the
right,
curve
fine.
shape, I think, or whatever.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just thought, whoa,
But you know the Earth's flat,
you're
yeah.
you're a badass man. I think the Earth is flat. Do you think the Earth is flat?
You know the Earth is flat, yeah. You just
Yeah,
go to the
sure
end,
it
you
is.
just hold up.
Yeah, the Earth is flat, and then there's just like for her to carry on. There's an ice
Yeah.
wall around the globe. So
So,
she's done like half a lap of the globe. So she went from north to south. Now she wants to go north to south, back to the other way around.
bloody
Yeah,
hell.
north to south to north. Let's go. Fucking
Amazing.
idiots, man. Honestly, the Earth is flat. Pottekam.
You
Absolute
need to put your NASA top
There
on,
you
man.
go.
Put your
There's your
NASA top
there's
on.
your word for the week. Pottekam. Pottekam
Right.
means stupid work. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't have the
Wrong
same impact,
things.
does it? It don't have the
No,
same
right.
impact in English.
Yeah. That's true for most of our music, man. If you translate our music that we listen to, the stuff we dance to at weddings. ਅੱਜ ਹੋਰ ਪੀਣ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਗਲਾਸੀ ਭਰ ਦੇ. Translate that for me.
Say that again.
ਅੱਜ ਹੋਰ ਪੀਣ ਨੂੰ ਜੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਇੱਕ
Right,
ਹੋਰ
so today I'm
ਗਲਾਸੀ
gonna
ਭਰ
drink.
ਦੇ.
What does G karda mean?
Like I want, really got the feeling for it.
So I'm gonna drink more today. I really got a feeling for it. Pour me another drink.
Yeah, and with all that like dancing too.
Yeah.
just bad, isn't it?
Don't forget the In the Club remix that we all heard.
Dun, 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 dun,
Everyone loved it.
dun.
Everyone loved
I
that.
always think though, like, did they get permission from 50 Cent for that? Like, how are they talking to 50 Cent? I just don't get it.
Bro, are you telling me that True School has permission from all of these hip hop tracks that he sampled?
Yeah, but that's my point. So how's he not like
He
sued them?
definitely doesn't.
So I mean, come on, he's not like he's small either. Like loads of millions of people listen to his songs.
They're not.
Why are they not getting sued?
I don't think that they're big enough for that.
So,
That's just my speculation. Maybe
we do stuff on Facebook.
Maybe it was cleared.
We do stuff on Facebook and make videos, and when we don't use royalty-free music, we get flagged up and taken down.
It's done. Yeah.
And you do that thing on Spotify, and you're telling me these guys, it doesn't make sense, man.
I don't know, man. Maybe they clear it with the record label or whoever it is or whoever owns the royalty of some sort. But yeah, that Horbino one, the 50 Cent in the club remix, I don't think that was cleared. I don't think that was cleared at all.
Go in there. It's your birthday.
Sounds horrible, man. In there.
Yeah. In there.
Horrible.
Anyway,
going back to Bowl of Preet.
In the
Oh, stop it, please. You're singing my name. Oh,
I know.
Anyway, going back to Bowl of Preet. Yeah.
Do
you think you could do that?
I think I would have to train for it. I think I can do anything that I have the willingness to do. But to do it
are you willing to do that? I should maybe paraphrase the question.
No.
Like
if I think about it, even these, I have nothing against people who run marathons, but it doesn't particularly inspire me. Like something that I find, for me, that's not progress. People train for marathons, run marathons. It is a personal milestone for them, and I completely understand that. But for me, that doesn't get me going. If I can master a sport or a skill, that's much more kind of inspiring to me.
Yeah.
But no, not personally. But yeah, if I have the willingness to do something, I think I can do anything.
I mean, fair play, man. I personally don't think I could ever do that. I like being cold, but I don't like being cold that much. Right? You know, when you're in bed and you have the blanket on at night and you like flip it off, and then you wake up in the night and you're cold, you put it back on. Yeah.
Get that chill.
Yeah, you like it, but then you're like, oh, okay, cool. I don't think I could wake up in the middle of the night and be minus 40 and be like, oh yeah, this is nice. No.
Especially on your own.
Yeah, especially on your own.
Like solo 40 days. So you remember, we're only looking at the physical, but the mental.
Oh yeah, the mental side of that for 40 days. Jesus.
That's That's
They must have
something.
put you through a load of assessments in order to clear that up and just think, how are you going to cope under this pressure? What do you do when
Yeah, I
this
mean,
goes wrong?
some obviously a military training obviously is coming handy because
Yeah, it must
if
have
you've
done.
gone through, if she's regular, so full time, army employed, then the physical training is tough. So that's obviously going to help, but it's not your average environment, that you train in. Yeah, yeah, that's tough physically and mentally. A lot of people do it for that
Physically,
reason. I've got a
mentally, indeed.
friend, Indy. Do you remember that
Huh?
speaking event I spoke at where I had that other guy produce that thing for me?
Oh
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're jealous, remember?
Oh. Yeah, yeah.
I want to do that.
I do want to do that, but yeah, yeah, go on.
It's coming up actually, by the way, if you want to come with me. So the end of January, he's doing the event again. He's invited me again to speak. Anyway, we'll talk about that offline. Guys, if you want to come and see me live in action from the stage, then you are invited on the 24th of January, Monday, in Teesside Redcar up north, where I'll be talking at an event called Strength to Succeed. Anyway, what was my point? I forgot my bloody point. What
I
were we
don't know where
talking
you
about?
were going with this.
What were we talking about just before this?
Polar Preet,
Yeah, mental, physical.
mental, physical toughness, difficulty, willingness to want to do it,
Army,
marathon.
army. Got it, got it. Yeah, yeah. So the guy, my friend who's organizing this event, he's ex-army and he ran a double Ironman back to back, which is a world record. No one's ever done that.
It's an Ironman.
Yeah, I don't know the definition, but it's basically just like triathlon things. So he did swim, bike, run, but to silly amounts. And he did two back to back, and now he wants to break it again and do three. And he's produced a film on it. You can go on YouTube. Stephen Green, that's my friend's name. You can watch him do it. His wife's just run 100 miles straight. So marathon is 26.3 miles, 100 miles.
Yeah, I
It's,
mean, I heard about that girl who was on Rogan who did the Moab 240.
yeah.
She was incredible. And yeah, I'm sure it's possible for some people to go ahead and do that. It just doesn't like I said, that's silly. That doesn't appeal to me at all.
Yeah, as in it doesn't get you going.
Yeah, but clearly it gets them going, right?
No, but this is the key. The key thing is when people do these things, I don't think it's enough for somebody to do something to prove something to anybody else. So obviously the personal motivation to do something like that, that's the key thing to tap into. And to have the resolve to get it done, I think that's the bit we take away, and you can, use that in something else. That's why I
Yeah,
said
to
whatever.
want to do it is something else than actually physically doing it.
No, yeah, no, that's obvious. That's true. What I'm saying is, whatever that person's driver or motivation, that's the bit you can take away and can be used in other things. So for you, there will be something that you have the willingness to do, and you will go and execute on it,
Yeah.
right? Which will be your walk to North Pole, let's say. Yeah, and that's the way I think about things. If it's important to me, I'll do it. Define what's important to you.